This is Marcy Anderson with the Fishing Report for Southeast Kentucky. The recent heavy rains have brought water levels up and has muddied up the lakes and rivers in the district. Combine that with the big cold front that moved through, and fishing has been a bit tough as of late. There are some clear water areas to be found on Lake Cumberland and Laurel River Lake down around the dam areas, so try fishing long sloping points using jigs to target smallmouth bass. On Lake Cumberland, water levels have come up 10 feet over the last 10 days. Before the big rains, anglers were having success targeting crappie in the upper Cumberland River arm. Striped bass are in the back portions of the main tributaries and are feeding heavily on shad, but the bite has slowed with the muddy water and cooling water temperatures. Walleye spawning will soon be happening, so look to target rocky points, riprap along the dam, as well as headwater rivers. Grubs, minnows, and night crawlers are some good options to try. With the big rise in Lake Cumberland, the Corps will be releasing a lot of water to get the lake level back down, which will make fishing conditions on the tailwater a little rough. The current generation schedule is highly variable, so you might want to break out a notepad to write it all down before heading out to stay safe on the water. Sauger, walleye, and skipjack are starting to be picked up close to the dam using jigs and minnows. Native strain walleye are starting to make runs in the upper Cumberland River above the falls and South Fork Kentucky River. Just a reminder that these populations are managed under an 18 to 26 inch protective slot with a 2-fish daily limit. March 1st is quickly approaching, which marks the start of the new license year, so make sure you get your new license before heading out on the water. So as always, good luck and good fishing.
Hi, this is Eric Cummins with your Southwest Kentucky Fishing Report. Barren and Green River Lake are both filling back up to winter pool at about a little less than a foot a day. Crappie have been good at both on the main lake structures and fish attractors in about 10 to 20 foot of water. Bass similarly at both lakes can be taken in the 5 to 10 foot range with jigs, swim baits, or jerk baits. At Green River Lake, stained water can be found from Smith Ridge to the State Park area. Blue catfish at Barren River Lake are being taken with cut bait on hook and line and jugs in the lower half of the lake. Tailwater walleye, catfish, and crappie have been fared both at Green and Barren River Lake tailwaters with some hybrid action there. On the Barren tailwater, Nolan tailwater has been good for holdover trout and some catfish and walleye and white bass. With the warm stretch that's upon us, be sure to check out your nearest small impoundments for some bass and crappie action, and even catfish will perk up. Mill Creek Lake in Tompkinsville, Metcalfe County Lake near Edmonton, Marion County Lake, Briggs Lake, and Logan County and Spurlington Lake in Taylor County are good places for that kind of action. While our large lakes are still down for flood control, at winter pool, this is a great time to pull out your notepad, phone, or whatever to document and mark structures, fish attractors that will be back underwater soon at summer pool. As always, good luck and good fishing, and be sure your life jacket's got your back.
This is Jeremy Shiflett with an update from the Northwest. Rough River Lake is about 5 feet above winter pool and falling. Nolin River Lake is about 13 feet above winter pool, or just 10 feet below summer pool, and rising. Water temperatures are in the upper 40s to low 50s by the afternoon. Both lakes have a lot of color and fairly low visibility right now. Bass fishing is fair. Fish have been caught on crankbaits and spinnerbaits in less than 8 feet of water. Crappie fishing has been fair to good depending on the day. Structure 2 to 12 feet deep on the main lake, and also pockets of standing timber have been producing fish. The Nolin River upstream has been muddy and unfishable, but look for crappie, walleye, and white bass up there starting about now through early May. Tube jigs, spinners, and blade baits, curly tail grubs, and small minnow-bodied plastics can catch just about anything up there in the spring. Crappie fishing has been fair to good in the state lakes and WMA lakes. Fish are schooled up, so once you find a school, you can usually catch quite a few in a short period of time. You will need to wade through a bunch of short fish, but there's no minimum size limit on our local state lakes, so take home whatever size you're willing to harvest. Harvesting small fish will help the other fish grow better in these situations. Trout were also stocked recently across the district. Hit Finns Lakes in Owensboro, Madisonville, and Litchfield, Peabody WMA, Lake Brittany and Sandy Watkins Park, and Morton's Lake on Higgins and Henry WMA. Inline spinners, minnow spins, trout magnets, power bait, and crappie nibbles all work. Keep a variety of colors on hand and keep switching until you find what they like on that day. It's always a good idea to keep records of dates, water temperatures, conditions, locations, and baits on a notepad or ledger to give yourself a better chance for success in the future. We call these records angler diaries, and they can be helpful for your local biologist as well, if you're willing to share. The weather is improving, and the fish and the fishermen are getting restless. Good luck, and stay safe.
This is Caleb Bentley with the Kentucky Stocking Report. This week across the state, we stocked rainbow trout and brown trout. Rainbow trout were stocked in Camp Ernst Lake, Alexandria Community Park Lake, Middleton Mills Lakes, both the Shelter House and Long Pond, Leary Lake, Kentucky Horse Park Rolex Lake, Martin County Lake, and Fort Campbell, both Little West Fork and Fletcher's Fork. Brown trout were stocked in Greenbow Lake and Fort Campbell, both Little West Fork and Fletcher's Fork. Good luck fishing. Stay safe.